Welcome everybody to Let's Go Racing. Dani Gibson here, joined with Dick Jerardi, and we are coming to you from our Parks Racing studio. Summer break here at Parks, but this show is all about Smarty Jones, who was inducted into the Racing Hall of Fame. Dick, just tell our fans just how incredible this is.
Yeah, it's a cool deal. It's Smarty Jones weekend at Saratoga, at least we're putting it that way. The actual induction, Dani, was yesterday, and we are actually going to be there. We're taping this early in the week, obviously. You, me, and Bruce are going to be there, and we're going to tape next week's show from the Sales Pavilion, where the Hall of Fame is, right after the ceremony. We'll get a lot of the people that are up there, obviously Pat Chapman, John Service, Stuart Elliott, and maybe some of the Hall of Fame members who will be there, and maybe we could get them talking about Smarty Jones. But yeah, look, it's been 21 years in the making, 2004. Finally got him on the ballot this year, and he was the only horse or person to get in for the modern day horses. And great feature put together by Melanie Wignall, and of course it's all Bruce Casella stuff from back in the day. This is pre-Kentucky Derby time, Dani, 2004. Take you back in time. Smarty Jones, 04, going to the Derby.
My husband, he was very sick at that time. He was on oxygen around the clock. And nobody will ever know the struggle it was for him to get there to the Derby.
It was very emotional. There was a lot going on. At the time, Churchill was doing a lot of rebuilding, a lot of remodeling. I just didn't want to go in there. I didn't feel comfortable going in there with all that. So we went to Keeneland. And the first week we were there, I could tell he just wasn't the same horse. He wasn't training great. And I was like, man, what's going on? And we had gotten some rain one morning, and we sent him to the training track instead of the main track, and he trained lights out. And I was like, okay, all right, so he just doesn't like this racetrack. So we got him out of there, we took him to Churchill, and his next breeze, he breezed unbelievable.
As we got closer and closer to the Derby, oh my gosh, the butterflies had become eagles. The excitement was unbelievable. We were going into that race with a horse that stood a chance of winning, but we also know how many ways a horse can lose a race.
A wet, late afternoon and evening here. It's like a sloppy race coming in.
You know, I started thinking, man, they might cancel this race. I mean, it was bad. The tents were blowing down.
I would have rather seen a fast track, to be honest with you.
But my biggest concern really for him, I was a little worried about the crowd and how he was going to handle it.
Go, don't clap, don't clap. Don't do that.
And on the way over, just watching the way he was acting and everything, I thought, he's got his game face on. He's coming to play.
Bill, good luck to you, my friend. Once in a lifetime, bud.
I was so glad that he got to see all of that. We were in the horse racing business because of him.
Whatever happens, buddy, we had a hell of a
John.
And they're off in the Kentucky Derby.
Coming out of the gate, running through the stretch the first time, there was some jostling going on, and it looked like at one time two horses just sandwiched him and lifted him up off the ground. And Stu hung in there and maintained his position, and subsequently got through the first turn in a really good spot.
Smarty Jones is a stalking second as they approach the far turn.
I watched Stewart throw a cross at him, and I saw him dig in. I remember I had my binoculars up, and I'm looking behind him to see what's running. And a couple horses that were making the move, Tap It, and another horse kind of started to flatten out. And I thought, you know, man, we're gonna get this done. And then the rest was history.
And Smarty Jones is rose to the lead by journeyman jockey Stuart Elliott, and they have taken the lead away from Lionheart. And here is the first undefeated winner of the Kentucky Derby since Seattle Slow of 1977. Smarty Jones has done it.
It was such a thrill. That was the best medicine for him. The excitement, the thrill of seeing our homebred run and win.
You know, it was something I always dreamt about. For some reason, I always felt like I was going to win a Kentucky Derby. I don't know why. And it wasn't, you know, going into the race with all the people that were on board and all the media, I didn't feel any pressure. I mean, I felt really confident. And I just remember thinking at the time when he crossed the wire that, you know, oh man, the hard work, all the time we put in, yeah, it all paid off.
Look, we go back 21 years, but it feels like yesterday, and these huge achievements is why we are celebrating Smarty Jones today. And he's just had such a huge impact on Pennsylvania horse racing.
Well, there's no question, Danny. Look, without Smarty Jones, we do not know what this place would look like. I guarantee you, we don't know whether the casino's there. We don't know what the racetrack is all about. So it was all about Smarty Jones, John Stewart, and Pat Chapman. And of course, Roy Chapman was living at the time. And they got the horse, and the horse got all this.
Yeah, just an incredible team, and it's so cool to be able to relive some of that. We're going to go to part 2, the Preakness, but we have to go to our first break, and when we come back, we have horse racing from around the country coming up on Let's Go Racing.
Alani and Top Gun Girl, these two continue on 1-2.
Some call you the Sultan of Slots, others the Baron of Baccarat. The rest, just Meemaw.
I'm tapped in, I'm tapped in.
But no matter who you are, you know there's always another way to win on the Bet Parks app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours. Shake those pearls, Meemaw.
The question a lot of people are asking themselves these days is, do I buy new or do I buy pre-owned? Here's what I'll tell you. New car inventories are still low and new car prices are still high. However, with the certified pre-owned Nissan at Chapman Nissan, we have a huge selection and you can save thousands over new. Plus a 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, roadside assistance, 1-year prepaid maintenance, and so much more. And not for nothing. Can you really tell the difference? I can't.
Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Go Racing. Let's get to some horse racing. Our national races begin at Saratoga with the Grade 2 Jim Dandy, a 1.125 miles, and the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont winners back. Sovereignty is our favorite.
Yeah, he's a 1-2 favorite, obvious. 5-horse field, Danny. The question was, how is this race going to be run? Who's going to show speed? You know, where is Sovereignty going to be? Remember, he showed much more speed in the Belmont. Will he do that again here?
Well, Baeza's shipping in from the West Coast. John Sheriff must have a good feeling. And look, he's a different pilot this time.
Yeah, second choice at 3-1. Flavian Pratt, we'll see him in a minute. He was out at Del Mar riding Nisos, but Hector Barrios is going to get the man on Baeza. And he'd ridden him earlier in his career before Pratt took over. What's a little disappointing in the Belmont, obviously he ran great in the Derby. We'll see how he does here.
Yeah, solid field here in the Grade 2 Jim Dandy.
24-2, a very reasonable opening quarter for Moplex and Manny Franco as they swing on to the backstretch. It's a 2-length lead on Sovereignty in second, and Baeza is matching strides, in fact taking second from Sovereignty as they head down the backstretch. Sandman and Jose Ortiz 4 lengths off the lead, and Hill Road. It's a compact field that went a half in 48-2. Moplex keen while showing the way. 2-length advantage into the far turn. On the inside, Hill Road has made an early bid. Baeza is still in second as they come to the 3/8. Sovereignty dropped back a bit, but is revving up once again with a 3-wide bid as they go through 6 furlongs in 1:12-2. Moplex, the leader, coming to the quarter pole. Baeza and Sovereignty are head and head. Hill Road made that bid but drops back, and then Sandman there at the top of the stretch. Sovereignty is up to take the lead. He and Baeza in close quarters, but Sovereignty has the upper hand in mid-stretch. Baeza is trying his best to cling to him, but it's Sovereignty and Junior Alvarado still on top. And still with plenty left.
Well, the champ does it, Sovereignty. Look, he just always looked like he was ready to go. I love the energy he had coming out to the track. Junior Alvarado, to me, he made the winning move. When all the horses kind of were closing, he kind of just let him gather himself. And to me, that horse, he just was the best.
Yeah, it wasn't dazzling like the Belmont, which was dazzling right in the final quarter mile in 23.5, but it didn't need to be dazzling. And look, the next race is the one, right? Belmont has won 1 million races. He's never won the Travers. Desperately wants to win it. I thought Baeza ran great.
I thought so.
104 buyer, 9 lengths back to the third horse. They were nowhere. So look, the champ is the champ until proven otherwise. He's certainly the leader in the clubhouse for 3-year-old champ and horse of the year at the moment. But we got a lot of racing between now and November 1st in the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out as the year continues, but great performance by Sovereignty and the Jim Dandy. Let's go down to Virginia. This is the Love Sign Stakes at Colonial Downs. Fillies and mares there, 6 furlongs. And why do we care? Because Mike Moore is there with Alani.
Yeah, for sure. She's going to be 2-1 in this race. And look, she's an interesting claim for $75,000 from John Service, who did well with her after they bought her at the sales. And this is her first real chance to win a stakes race. She's been in them, but maybe this is the one where it looks like she's got a big shot.
Yeah, Indy Hernandez aboard. Frankie's been on her for most of her starts. Bourbon Breeze, she's going to have to contend with. Rudy Brissett, he's got a lot of classy horses as well.
Yeah, and Bourbon Breeze has some speed, but it'd be interesting to see how she is ridden in this particular spot.
Here it is, the Love Sign.
Alani and Top Gun Girl, these two slug it out through an opening quarter mile in 22.08 seconds. Top Gun Girl right up alongside of Alani. On the outside, Admiral Hopper's ranging in 3 wide from third. Happy Cloud stays toward the fence, going to need a seam. Then comes Costa Amalfitana. Bourbon Breeze is out of last, but is 4 or 5 wide, trying to circle up as they come to the top of the stretch. Alani and Top Gun Girl, these two continue on 1-2. Admiral Hopper down the far outside, trying to make up ground. Happy Clouds dives down toward the inside. Now going to look to the 2 path as Alani's still narrowly in front. It's Alani the leader. Admiral Hopper up on the outside. Between horses, Happy Clouds, Costa Amalfitana down the far outside, and Bourbon Breeze, but Alani's still finding. Alani by the 16th pole, length and a half in front. Admiral Hopper and Happy Clouds chasing. Alani going to go on to win it here 2-1.
Amy Hernandez, nice aggressive ride there. Alani gets the win. Really happy for Michael Day and Mike Moore, their partners on this really nice filly. Competitive Edge. I'll tell you what, Competitive Edge horses, you don't hear a lot of them, but they run. We had one that we did very well with, and this is another just filly with a big heart.
Competitive Edge won the Hopeful 2014. He won a Pat Day Mile the next year. Danny, did you know this?
What?
He set the pace in the Haskell in 2015 and finished 4th behind who?
American Pharoah?
Thank you.
All right.
There you go. But yeah, look, the deal is Alani. Interesting. I wrote about it this week on Let'sGoRacingParks.com. Alani was claimed for $75,000. Now, John Service and Car Guys had made some money, right, with her. They bought her for $57,000. They made money. That's a big number to step in for $75,000. But Mike and they have now made money. And so everybody's happy. Everybody's made a score at Alani, and she's as good as she's ever gotten. So good for her.
Let's continue to see Alani. Nice stakes win for Mike Moore and Mike Day down at Virginia. Well, let's go out to the West Coast, shall we? This is the San Diego Handicap Grade 2. Horses going a mile and 16th, and it is the return of Nisos for Bob Baffert.
Yeah, 1-9 on Nisos. I mean, look, I thought he couldn't lose, and obviously the better shared my opinion. And I mean, he's a freak. We shall see how well he runs in this spot. This is the prep for the Pacific Classic.
Larry Colmish, track announcer at Del Mar. Here it is at San Diego.
It is Miramati on top. Where's Nisos going to go? He's down on the inside. Hall of Fame is right up alongside of them. Then Tarantino and Express Train, and they're into the stretch with Miramati to catch. Nisos finds a seam now, and here he comes at the 8th pole, bounding by Miramati. And then on the outside, it's Hall of Fame and Tarantino, but it is Nisos. Nisos and Flavian Pratt running away.
Well, Nisos and Flavian Pratt with the win there. Now, was that impressive enough to scare journalism off?
Yeah, I'm not sure. 102 buyer, but look, Nisos only ran the last 8th of a mile, right? He was locked in on the rail. To be determined. Look, we all would love to see journalism here on September 20th. So the question is, will we see him here, or is he going to run against Nisos in the Pacific Classic? This is me now. I don't think there's any chance he's running in the Travers. By the way, Baffert was 3 for 18 in the San Diego and had, 7 odds-on horses lose, including, listen to this, Arrogate and Silver Charm were odds-on favorites and lost, so he got Nisos home. He's very happy. He thinks this is his Breeders' Cup Classic horse.
I remember that Arrogate race, and they always said he did not like the Del Mar surface, which he certainly did not.
He was never the same after that Dubai World Cup, which was, in my opinion, the single greatest performance of the 21st century, right up there with Flightline's Pacific Classic.
It was pretty awesome. Well, it's time for us to take another step forward in the history of Smarty Jones. The Kentucky Derby winner is now going to head to Baltimore for the second jewel, the Preakness. Here's more with our good friend Melanie Wignall and Bruce Cassell in their great feature.
Undefeated winner of the Kentucky Derby since Seattle Slough in 1977. Smarty Jones has done it.
I remember we left Churchill the next day because we drove out. You know, I still had 40 horses at Parks. The next morning, I go to the barn. There's like 50 people from the media at my barn. And they're grabbing me and talking to me on the rail and stuff. That's when my wife stepped in. She goes, you know what? You train your horses. I'll set this stuff up for you. I think that's why we won the Sport Turfdom Award through the media, because everybody was so pleased the way everything went. We were very naive. You know, everybody's like, you know, were you going to go to Preakness? Look, I don't know. I got to see how my horse comes out of the race, how he's acting.
I had never particularly wanted to go on that Triple Crown trail because I know the pressure. And my husband, that was a dream of his.
I told Mr. and Mrs. Chapman, I said, look, yeah, we'll let him tell us. If he's training like he's been training, then we're definitely going to go for the Preakness. And he did.
I tell you, this horse has come a long, long way. He didn't used to be, I mean, he was a freaking handful.
You know, he was a little strong. I didn't train him a whole lot. Bob Newmauer asked me why I didn't breeze him. And I told him, I said, look, hell, my horse just ran 1.25 miles 2 weeks ago. The way he trains, he doesn't need to breeze.
Hey, chap. Everything's super, buddy. Very good, very good. No, I just wanted to let you know we had a real good morning and everything's looking good, buddy.
And I felt strong about that. I felt that he was going into the race really, really good. You know, he's fit. I just want him mentally to think he can go bear hunting with a switch. That's what I want. And that's the way he went in the race.
And they're off. Smarty Jones gets off to a good beginning. Smarty Jones comes away with an early lead.
I mean, going to the first turn, I could tell right away Michael Smith was trying to control the race. Smarty broke sharp and he put himself in a good position.
But there goes Lionheart with his typical early tack, and Mike Smith is angling him out as they head for the clubhouse turn.
You know, Mike had to use his horse a little bit to get to the lead, to control the race. And I think more than anything, he wanted to try to park Stewart out in the middle of the racetrack.
And around the far turn, Mike Smith is giving Smarty Jones the rail.
And then when Stu ducked to the inside, you know, I knew he had some horse. I didn't know he had that much horse. Yeah, he just exploded.
And as they hit the top of the stretch, Smarty Jones has taken the lead. It is Smarty Jones in front.
And then to watch him draw off like that, I remember telling myself, you know, back him down, Stu. We got one more to go. Let's not use it up. I don't want to leave it in the gym, you know?
Smarty Jones, he's pulling away. He's pulling away to win impressively here. He's going to win by a colossal margin. Here is Smarty Jones. He wins the Preakness by 12 lengths.
When that horse took off and kept running the way he did and won by the record margin, we were full of gratitude, but we were full of excitement that you just can't describe.
All I can say is wow.
I'll say the same thing.
Oh my God.
The guy from West Virginia, the guy from Germandale.
How about it, huh?
This Philadelphia story continues its magical way to the elusive Triple Crown.
Look, it's so fun to take that walk back in history. I mean, he was just so dynamite in that Preakness.
Yeah, that would be right up there in my top 5 21st century performances. That was a freak show that day. Won by the largest margin in the history of the race, and they've only run it 150 times.
Smarty Jones, forever in the Hall of Fame. Well, it's time for us to take another break. When we come back, we are going to go to the moment where you shared with Pat Chapman that Smarty Jones was going to be in the Hall of Fame in that incredible feature there.
Yeah, this was a Bruce Casella classic. He set it up and we finished it.
Coming up next on Let's Go Racing.
Who's this? Is this Dick?
This is DJ. So I'm wishing you luck.
Hey, Dick.
This is Parks.
This is how you roll, this is how it goes. This is how you pop, this is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you excite, this is how you all night. 360 hit me, now we're going all in. I can feel it calling, the crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right. This is how you. This is
Parks, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided for over 4,000 former racehorses with a safe retirement.
These brave warriors do so much for the fans, and we want to make sure they're taken care of.
It's a group effort by all the owners and the trainers, and we've helped so many horses.
Responding to the need of a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retirement of the equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
It's awesome. I mean, these are the things that we deal with every day that put us into the game and make the game great. Without the horses, we have nothing.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
Aftercare, it takes all of us, and every single person is responsible for it. These horses give us everything on the track. It's up to us to give them everything off the track.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Go Racing. Well, this one is a very special Jockey of the Week. Here it is. Congratulations, Stuart Elliott. He was the jockey of Smarty Jones, and we celebrate them all week. It's Smarty Jones Week. Congratulations, Stuart Elliott. Jockey of the Week brought to you by NovaCare, the power of physical therapy. We are so appreciative of this week's Trainer of the Week. Congratulations. Congratulations, John Service. He was the great trainer of Smarty Jones as we celebrate him all week. Trainer of the Week is brought to you by the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Congratulations, John. We're happy to have another Turning for Home family photo. Castle Casanova, a retired New York bred. He recently is the New York Horse Show champion. What a great job our partner farm, Full Gallop Farm, has done with this guy. He's actually available for adoption. Just a really cool horse doing cool things.
Do you think he'd fit in my backyard?
No, I think he's a little too much horse for you.
That,
yeah. Well, we have been celebrating Smarty Jones all week because he's been inducted into the Hall of Fame, but there were steps before that, before the celebration became.
Correct. So in late April, we got the word that Smarty had made the Hall of Fame. We were given permission by Brian Bouyer from the Hall of Fame to let Pat Chapman know about it. So from late April in Sarasota to the first Friday in August in Saratoga Springs, here's when I sprung it on Pat Chapman.
Who's this? Is this Dick?
This is DJ. So I'm wishing you luck.
Hey, Dick.
Hey, Pat. You nervous about Thursday?
I'm a little concerned. I'm not really nervous. I'm a little concerned. I'm hoping the vote goes the way I want it to. But, you know, if it doesn't, you know, there are all kinds of ways to lose a horse race. So you never know.
When was the last time you were at Saratoga Springs?
It's been a long time.
How would you like to go back this year with your horse being inducted into the Hall of Fame? And Pat, I'm here to tell you that the Hall of Fame has told me that Smarty Jones has been elected to the Hall of Fame.
What? What?
You heard me correctly.
Are you serious?
I am 100% serious. They were able to give us the word early so Bruce and I could tell you.
God. I don't know. I'm like Steve Haskins said, I'm like a deer caught in headlights. There I am again. You got to tell Steve.
What are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling, I don't know, I'm feeling kind of numb. Are you kidding me?
No, not kidding, Pat. We would have sent Bruce all the way down there.
Are you kidding me? I thought there's a reason that... Oh my God!
Quite a shock. I'm just really happy for like the people because they're gonna lose their minds over this, and just everybody I talk to is just rooting for them, and shock.
What an incredible moment for her. And she is just, we call her the First Lady of Pennsylvania horse racing, and she's just a magnificent person. We've got to spend a lot of time with her, and what a moment that, you know, she just feels so proud that it finally happened.
I mean, I've known Pat now for over 20 years, and every time you talk with her or around her, she's just a wonderful human being, for sure.
Definitely lifts you up. We're going to go to our final break, but we have to get to the part where Mrs. Chapman tells John Service about the great news. So that'll be coming up after this break on Let's Go Racing.
I'm trying to keep from getting a little emotional.
Some call you the Sultan of Slots. Others, the Baron of Baccarat. The rest, just Meemaw.
I'm tapped in. I'm tapped in.
But no matter who you are, you know there's always another way to win on the Bet Parks app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours. Shake those pearls, Meemaw.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Well, it's been so fun sharing this story of how the news was delivered. So we've told Mrs. Chapman. Now it's time for Mrs. Chapman, who's down in her home in Sarasota, to let trainer John Service know.
So Bruce and I were out at the track literally an hour or so before the announcement, the official announcement was going to come. And I happened to get a call from Pat Chapman, in a shocking development, and I handed the phone to John Service. Here it is.
All right.
We are going to...
Congratulations, Pat.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you deserve that so much.
You deserve that. We all do. Smarty deserves it most of all.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I am so thrilled.
Oh, you got. I'm trying to keep from getting a little emotional here. That's.
Well, don't do that. They want.
I have to. I got cameras all over the place. Oh man, Chappie was looking after us, wasn't he?
He sure was. I'm telling you, he's been on our shoulders the whole way, rooting for us. He would be one happy Philadelphia guy, wouldn't he?
Yep. Yes, indeed.
So what are your emotions now, John?
Oh, I'm really happy for the horse. I'm really happy for Pat. You know, she, like she said, it's been a 20-year ride, and she's let everybody in on the ride. I mean, she's answered letters and sent pictures and sent pieces of hair and listen, people love him. You know, you heard Rodney's interview. They come from all over to see him all the time. 20 years later, 21 years later.
Well, lots of emotion there and just great news all around. And now that we have shared this story, next week we're going to take our fans into the Hall of Fame celebration.
Exactly. Do not miss next week's show, because again, if you can't make it, and we'd love to have seen you there, but if you didn't, next week's show, we're going to take you right inside the pavilion. You're going to be there. You're going to feel like you were there at Saratoga Springs at the pavilion.
Pretty awesome stuff. And check out this week's Gate to Wire episode. That's our podcast. Dick Jerardi and Bruce Casella talk with Mrs. Chapman just about all the action and her emotions and how she feels and everything going into this big Hall of Fame, because it is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and it's just an incredible achievement.
It's the perfect ending for the perfect horse.
It's going to be a great show. We're going to celebrate all Smarty Jones getting into the Hall of Fame. Thanks for watching Dick and I, and we'll see you next time on Let's Go Racing.
Off and racing in the Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby in a flawless beginning, and seize the ray. He's going to seize the day in the Pennsylvania Derby. Here comes Torpedo Anna, a 16th left to go. Torpedo Anna, the Grizzly has the heart of a lion. Torpedo Anna gets the win, a narrow victory in the cotillion.